So I want to come to the fact that you specialize in aesthetics. So fillers and Botox to basically improve the measurements, the contours of people's faces. Is that correct? What is in the filler? Um,
Okay. So
what
what is
was that material made of?
it's like the jelly in your eye, the jelly
Okay.
in your skin, the jelly that lubricates your joint.
Okay.
All that is called as hyaluronic acid, which is the ground substance in your skin. Like you call it a GAG, glycosaminoglycans. These are all a set of ground substance in your
Okay.
skin. So it's literally like a water jelly. That is what is in the filler. Now, filler is so highly specific in hyaluronic acid, and it is what is taken out from a bacteria grown on a petri dish. This particular thing does not have species specificity, which means to say I can pull it out from a dog, put it to me, from mine to a pig to a cow, cow to a chimpanzee. You to me, obviously. So I could do it to anyone because this is the innate nature of that material.
Okay.
So it's inert, it doesn't react, it doesn't harm you. It quietly sits where you put it. If it is put by an expert in the right plane in the right way, it quietly sits where it is been put. It's like a clay mold. You're putting clay and just saying, okay, she doesn't have cheek, let me put a little clay cheek under her. Imagine that. So that is a filler. You have a deep line, let me just put a little line of clay under that. The deep line becomes a little, it'll come up. Lips are not really nice, let me put a little clay under that and make it proper. Now that clay, if you give to an amateur, he can just do pachki fight.
Yeah.
It's like a clay in an amateur's hand while you give it to probably I don't know who's the biggest clay maker. Clay artist, but let's say Picasso for simply. So if you give it to him, he'll create something beautiful. So it's like that. It's simply an inert putty-like material in your hand.
And once this thing is injected into your face, where does it go? I mean,
It
does it
sits there.
always sit there forever?
It doesn't sit
Does
there
it need to
forever.
be refreshed? Does it
No.
move around?
So it doesn't sit there forever because
Okay.
there is an enzyme called hyaluronidase in our body, which is a natural enzyme that keeps breaking it down. So is there a time period in which it will break down? Yes. Usually, if you see the company brochures, depending on the cross-linking, which is so pure hyaluronic acid will be broken down in 24 hours.
Okay.
Because hyaluronidase just at accident it's gone. But if you have cross-linking in it, which means to say there are some protein bits attached to make them sit strong, depending on the cross-linking, depending on the weight of the hyaluronic acid in it, the molecular size of the hyaluronic acid in it, it takes time to degrade. So some companies, depending on what they have put in, will say 3 months. It will be on the box inside whatever is written. Some will be 6 months, some will be 1 year, some will be 2 years. But there are recent studies which have shown that once you put it inside, the company may say what they want to say, but the body doesn't fully degrade. So we have seen with studies of people who have injected 20 odd years ago, still retaining hyaluronic acid inside. So which means to say, to answer your question, does it fully go away? It may never fully go away. So therefore, when I do fillers on my patients, I keep telling them, on the box it says 1 year, but when I do fillers, I have seen it kind of lasts for at least 3 to 5 years.
So Botox and fillers are two different things.
Yes, they are. So like I said, your filler is very, very inert. It's like a clay, like a putty. I'll put it in like a good boy, it'll sit there if I put it in right. While Botox is a very common name, it's like a Xerox, very common name. And it's one company which makes the toxin.
Okay.
So botulinum A toxin it is. So it is a toxin that is that paralyzes. But I don't want to use such a strong term and scare people away. So this was what when you ate paralyzed the gut. So gut mobility was not there, and then you died due to various reasons of muscle not moving, whether smooth muscles not moving. So when you give these little doses in a controlled manner, in a very purified manner, into certain muscles that we call it as mimicking muscles, the muscles which cause action, that releases those muscles. So there's a nerve releases acetylcholine. This is a muscle. Muscle has a receptor to acetylcholine. And when the acetylcholine is received and this guy says, oh, nerve is telling me to contract, I will contract. What if I make this connection weak? That's all is what the toxin is doing, making that connection weak. new connection will establish. That's how the body is. And that's why Botox doesn't last. It wears off in 3 months. So, and it is not fully paralyzing if you don't want to. With the dose, I can just ease. Now, I have Botoxed my frown lines because I don't like my frown lines. But am I not able to move? I am, because I've kept it so easy. I like it to be natural. So I've used a less dose. Disadvantages, instead of 3 months, I have to inject myself every 2 months. Sometimes I may not. Like now it's been 6 months since I've injected, but I've been injecting regularly. So my muscles are eased off. The line hasn't etched. So it's okay. So there are a lot of actors where I have to give them the ability to express and emote.
Yes, because that's the job.
Correct. But they don't want it so exaggerated that it sees as multiple lines. So we ease that. So that's where you can literally play with it like math. You exactly know. If I -1, this is what will happen. If I +1, this is what. And this muscles also you play. Now, if I want to get an arch of the brow, I know what to knock to get a nice arch. The same thing, if I knock a little more here, then I'll have a flat. I won't be able to get my arch. So that's the way you play around to do what you want to do with both these tools. This fabulous tools. I love them. So
Obviously.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, so for people who get this work done,
Yeah.
it has to be refreshed every few months.
Yes, which is
Okay.
actually a boom.
And how expensive is this on an average?
Expense is a relative term, isn't it? Yes, I mean, it's not. In today's day, I don't think it's very expensive. Like, for example, if you just want a brow to be lifted off, I hate this when this brow falls as we grow older. It just, the tail seems to just get under. So just to get your brow open, so even the eye feels a little open. Or as you grow older, the corner of the mouth goes down. See, I'm not able to do that because I've Botoxed. So if you were to just Botox a muscle called DAO, which kind of keeps pulling this down, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10,000 rupees?
Okay.
Maybe even less. That's it. So it's not horrendously expensive. Having said that, this I'm saying is small indications with small amount of drug required. But if you need a whole load, like for example, there's a muscle called platysma here, which starts from here to here, just pulls the whole damn face down. So it's a downward pulling muscle, and you don't want your jaw under constant downward pull. So I knock that platysma off to give you a good face neck definition, plus a no tug to your lower face. Now for that, I need 60 to 80 units at times.
Oh,
So then it's multiples of how many units you use.
right.
There
But
are
it's
certain countries.
mostly accessible for most people.
Yeah. Come on. Yes.